everyone, Joe here. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. Hi to all of you that usually stop by. Hope everybody's doing well. And hi to those of you that just stumbled on me. My name is Joe and I do a lot of seasonal decorating, and this is kind of like the kickoff to my 2020 fall decorating. Today you can see I'm here in the living room. I'm going to be doing one of our mantles. Not that we have so many, I mean we have two. We have one here in the living room and in the family room, but today I'm going to be working on this mantle with our fall decor here. And as you can see, I cleared everything away and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to get started in 1 second. Okay, so what I did was I created this board for the top of the mantle. And the reason I did that was because lately I haven't had much confidence in command hooks. But as you can see, I do have some on here, but I really don't trust them as much as I used to. I don't know if they changed the formula for the adhesive or what the story is. And I know there's different weights and I get the very heavy weights, but most times they do come down. And you don't want to be doing a lot of work on your mantle or wherever and you know, find it on the floor. So this will offer me a chance that if I have to put a nail in here, who cares? I'm putting a nail in here. It's not my real mantle. So what I did was I cut it exactly to fit this mantle right here, and I'm just going to place it on here, and I'm going to be using my decor. So you can see there's a space right here. You won't see that once I have all the stuff on it. And again, if for those of you that follow me or know, last year I did the same thing during Christmas time, and what I did was I put clips on each end to really hold it secure, because like I said, I had, you know, this big really tall thing on there and I didn't want it to fall down. So for fall, that's not going to happen, but I do want to use that so that I can you know, be able to manipulate it a little better if I have to put a nail in it or something like that. Okay, so I put the mirror back up there. Actually, that was a mirror from an old dresser, and I just painted it out, and I leave it up there most of the time now, but I do change it out once in a while. I'll, you know, put something else up, but the mirror is going to work. I am not going to be using a wreath on top of the mantle for this season right now. I'm going to try something a little bit different. So what I did was, behind that mirror, I nailed in some very tiny nails. They're only about 1 inch, about a 1 inch size. You can see right there. Excuse this, I was just cleaning the mirror. And I nailed that in. Like I said, I didn't want to use command hooks because I don't trust them anymore, to tell you the truth. But so anyway, I put some nails in various places, and I'm going to be using a Christmas garland as my base. So I'm going to start putting that up, and then I'll show you how. And I'm not going to video the process of that. You know how to put garland up, obviously. So I'm going to put that on, and then I'll show you what I did with it. Okay, so as you can see, I started up here on this edge, and I'm bringing it around. I'm going to bring it all the way down. So I secured it to the back of this mirror with nails, and I used this floral wire right here to attach it to those nails. So actually what I've done is I kind of made a plan here. For those of you that know me, you know I'm always making a plan. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm bringing this piece around, and then I'm going to bring it over to here. Then I'm going to have another little piece hanging here, and then another little piece that's heading off into that direction. And then this way I can embellish it with more fall looking things. Sorry if that got blurry. All right, so I'm going to continue now with that piece, and I'm going to bring it around the bottom over there. Okay, so I have it up, and I did the dreaded fluff already. And I know it looks really heavy up in this piece right here, but it shouldn't look like that once I get done with what I'm doing. And if I have to adjust it, I have to adjust it. I've never actually done this. I'm looking for something different to do. I'm just tired of the same thing all the time, over and over and over. So this is just a little bit of a different take on it. So like I said, I have it. I know what I want it to look like in my mind, and hopefully it will come to fruition that it does turn out like that. All right, so I made a commitment to my design because I'm starting to put these mini lights in, and once I do that, very little chance that I'm going to be readjusting because it's absolutely more work. So I'm using white lights for in here, and I'm not going to make them as dense as, like it would be for Christmas. I just wanted to give kind of like, just like a warm kind of a feeling. And what you want to do is you just want to, go in and out of your garland and keep stepping back because, a lot of times when we're on top of something, we tend to do it up here and nobody sees that. So you want more of the, the lights and stuff in the front. And there's going to be a lot of stuff on here, so obviously some of them are going to get masked as well. Please, when you do this, hide your wires because nothing looks more unprofessional than a bunch of wires all over the place. So you want to make sure you go in and hide them, take any tags off of them that, that might be, hide the outlets, hide the plugs, and so on. It just kind of adds to the fantasy of the whole thing. All right, so let me finish putting those lights on and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so there you go, lights on. It took 200 of those white mini lights to get that look. So it's not overbearing. It seems like a lot right now, and then once I put this stuff on, you really won't see it that much. Okay, so next I'm going to I have to place a couple of things on there first because I don't want to waste any of my full stuff behind something. So next I'm going to start layering, and I'm going to use this mirror that I did this relief artwork on. I don't know if you saw the video that I did this. I'll link it in the description box below. This was an old mirror, and what I did was I used hot glue to make this floral motif on here, and then I painted the whole thing white. So I'm going to layer it up there if I can. Right, something like that right now. And hold on a second. A good friend of ours gave us this picture frame, and she said she didn't want it anymore. And she said that, maybe it would find a nice home in one of our vignettes in our house. So I'm choosing it to use it now. So, and the reason I'm using it is because, look, it has that same kind of relief look on it. It was a different color, so I painted it white just so it matched that. And then I wanted something different. I'm tired of Happy Fall Y'all and the same things that gather, thankful. I mean they're all great, but I'm just tired of seeing it. So actually, I went online and I was looking around, and I found this cute picture right here with Winnie the Pooh, and I don't know this little one's name, but I'm sorry for the you can see the light in there. And it says here, as soon as I saw you, I knew an adventure was going to happen. And I thought of me and Marianne because we've been on many, many adventures. And so I printed it out, and it was in black and white. So I colored it in using color pencils. And I just added these pumpkins in here. So I'm going to use that right here too. No, I'm still on, Marianne. Okay, so I layered those three right there, and I'm going to move on in a second. Okay, so next I'm going to use these candle holders, and I must have painted these about 150 times. I just painted them white to go with this look. So I'm going to put these down at this end for now, and I'm not going to put candles on them, and I'm not going to put pumpkins on them either. I'll show you what I'm going to do in a second, but I'm going to have them down at this end right here. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in a second. All right, so I have these little lanterns here, and they have a timer on them. It was black. It was like kind of like a slate gray, actually. And I just brushed this white paint on it, and the timer will go on here. And I'm going to put something up here, but I'm not doing it yet because I want to do this down here first because I don't want it to be too distracting from the rest. So I'm going to put these two lanterns here instead of two candles or pumpkins or something like that. Okay, so you just have to embellish that a little bit. So next I have these picks with these really large leaves on them, and I didn't want to use something so orange actually, but I'm going to try these anyway right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work them into this arrangement so that it kind of looks like leaves are, you know, kind of cascading down. I'm going to try it right now. I don't think I'm going to do it on video because I don't want you to hear me cursing or anything like that. So let me try it and then I'll show you how it goes. Alright, so far that's what I have. I see I tried to make it look like, you know, like a tree, kind of like it's up there and it's falling down here, the leaves are falling. It actually, I'm looking at it in the tape there and it actually looks way better in person for some reason, but it'll get better. And now I think the next layer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lot of pine cones up in here. I'm going to do pine cones. And then down here, I'm going to do pine cones as well, but I'm going to do a bunch of pumpkins down here and some other things. I'm not going to add any more florals and anything in that because I think the main star over here are the leaves. So you can see the sun is starting to go down. Okay, so let me put those pine cones in. So for the pine cones, what I'll do is I take the pine cone and then I take a piece of the floral wire and I kind of wrap it. I get it underneath these, I forgot what they're called, those little things on the pine cone. And then I just twist it like that, right? Twisting it. And what I now have is it's like a pick, right? I have this attached to it. So then what I can just do is I can go in here and I can just use that wire and I can wrap around one of these branches. Then I can position my pine cone however I want it. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to be putting those pine cones on next. I layered in some of the pine cones, as you can see here. Now I went outside and I got some twigs and I'm going to be placing these in as well. Just kind of like that. Okay, I'll show you a close-up. Okay, so I got some of those pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, the really bright orange ones. So I did this color. It's kind of like a sage green, and I added some of the white in here. It's actually not white. It's kind of like a beigey kind of a color. And the tree branch from outside that I hot glued. And I did some I painted it white first, and then I put on a beige in here as well. It's kind of like a Navajo white actually, and it just gives it that more of a gourd kind of a look. And I also did orange ones as well. Right here you can see I did the orange. I toned it down because you know how bright they are. They're really bright orange and fake looking. So not that these look real, but they look a little bit better. And I made, I just did 12 of them right now, and I did every one a little bit different because just like snowflakes, there's no two pumpkins the same. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to work these in to this arrangement right here, and if I have to stack them, I may use toothpicks. I'll show you that. Okay, so it is done, and as you can see, what I've done is I've incorporated the pumpkins into the mantelscape here, and I also have, of course, those leaves that you saw me put in, the fall leaves, and I added in the twigs from outside, pine cones that I've gathered from outside as well. And then I also added in some greenery to kind of tone down the orange as well. So, and I had these little picks, actually they were in my bunch of spring things, but I also had them out in some spots for the summer as well. So I just, I stuck them in, and you say they have the tendrils on them and stuff like that for the, reminiscent of the pumpkins and whatnot. So, and down this end, you can see I added in an orange plate and then another plate back there with the pumpkin in it. Again, I know it's a lot of orange, but it's fall, and I like orange. So you can see my extension up into the top over there. I also did the twigs, the green leaves intertwined with the orange leaves, as well as the twigs. Here's my little lanterns, and you can see them a little bit twinkling there. I added two bows. I'm not a bow kind of person, but I did add two bows. That is a ribbon that I got in that grab bag from Michael's back in January when me and Marianne got the $5 boxes, and that was a $15 roll. So I figured, let me put it to use. So I just added a couple of bows right up there. Down in the bottom, I added in just a few more pumpkins. Actually, I laid down some garland first, and then I put some leaves on it. I added in these few pumpkins and some pine cones to extend the scene down here. And I'm not going to put anything on the sides. I think it becomes overbearing and cluttered looking. I mean, that's where my head is right now. So I think I'm not going to be putting additional things on each side of the hearth area. So that is my fall mantle and fireplace in the living room this year. Thanks for following along and watching how I did this. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Drop me a comment. You know I love hearing from you. And I'll be back really soon with the next thing I'm going to do in this room. I think I'm going to do the coffee table and or the hutch, and then I'll have videos for those as well. Okay, everybody. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. It is Friday, and I'll be seeing you really soon. Okay, everybody, stay safe, take care.